What up? It's your boy Sebastian. I'm back with another one today. It is day 16 of Pride Month, and although it's the middle of the month and we're not quite at the end, I don't want to do this one at the end of the month because I don't want to end it on a bad, rough, or indifferent note. So instead, I decided to do this today. Since it's about the middle of the month, Today we're gonna go off of the little bit of information you can find on the internet, because since we don't study those that are transgender enough, statistics are not that great online, and then the statistics that they do have online are really much mainly about violence. So unfortunately, that's what today's show is going to be about. In case you do not know, transgender, it is an adjective. It is noting or relating to a person whose gender identity does not correspond to that of a person's sex assigned at birth, or noting or relating to a person who does not conform to social gender norms or roles, which a lot of people don't conform to roles, but that does not mean that they're transgender. I'm just saying. I also want to let you know that another word for today is statistics. So it's a noun, or statistic, meaning the science that deals with the collection or classification, analysis, or interpretation of numerical facts or data, and that by use of mathematical theories or probability imposes an order, regularity on aggregates of more or less disparate elements. Pretty much is numerical facts and data about whatever. The stuff that they have had in a collection here or there. Y'all understand. Let's be serious here. And I also would like to tell you what violence means, in case some of y'all act like y'all don't know what violence means. It is a noun, and it means swift or intense force, rough or injurious physical force, action, or treatment. An unjust or unwarranted exertion of force or power as against rights or laws. That means it does not necessarily have to be you physically touching somebody. It can be verbal, mental, emotional, all those things. A violent act or proceeding, rough or immoderate vehemence as feeling or language. Damage through distortion or unwarranted altercation. Alliteration. Sorry, y'all. I got no glasses. I still can barely read. But those are all the different definitions of violence. Okay. So we're going to talk about transgender statistics and violence, because I was reading an article this morning about transgender people in Forbes from the statistics of last year of 2021, as this is 2022. And according to Forbes, last year was the deadliest year for transgender people. 375 transgender people were killed last year, and that rose from the year before by 25 people. And although that's not a large number, that ain't no small number either. Like, for it to jump 25 from one year to the other, that's too many in general. Like, I feel like deaths in general shouldn't rise that high, you feel me? And in case y'all don't know, the Transgender Day of Remembrance is November 20th. I didn't know that. I found that out this morning as well by reading the internet. It has so much information. But believe it or not, it says, according to Forbes, that majority of these murders happened in Central and South America, which actually does not surprise me, not even a little bit. Meaning that 70% of all global deaths happened in Central and South America, which is disheartening. It's sad. Although I do not live there, I can just imagine all the people that do live there that are transgender and constantly worry about if today may be their day to die because someone does not accept them. Someone can't be okay with them just living their life, So, it also says most deaths in a single country occurred in Brazil, which totaled 33% of global deaths, which, once again, that one does not surprise me either, that Brazil would be like that, because I've heard so many stories about those that are transgender down there, especially transgender women, which seems to happen everywhere, not just in Brazil or South and Central America. Transgender women have it worse than any other type of transgender person, unfortunately, which is so hard, so sad, so disheartening. For the first time, Greece, Kazakhstan, and Malawi reported the first time of having deaths in their countries. And you're talking about Greece. Greece is such a beautiful place. And I don't know much about Kazakhstan or Malawi, but as you know, transgender people are everywhere. We're not just in one set area, not just in America or in South America. I guarantee you there are people in South Africa, Africa in general, Australia, Zimbabwe. I'm naming countries, but continents also, like Russia, Asia. Over there, everywhere has transgender people. Everywhere transgender people feel some type of way. Going through these numbers, they said that the report notes that numbers indicate a worrying trend. Worrying, that means it is, like I said before, disheartening. Like, it is terrible. It says it comes with intersections of misogyny, racism, xenophobia, and hate towards sex workers. In case you didn't know, a lot of sex workers are transgender people, because transgender people have an issue finding jobs today because of the fact that they are transitioning, and people don't want to hire someone who was born male that looks female, or someone who was born female and looks male. And unless they have gone through enough of the transition with the female to male, where you can't tell by just looking at someone's face. As you can tell at my face, you can still tell that I was born female, but at the same time, because of my voice and because of the way that I carry myself, most people don't ever say anything. Even though I'm top heavy, I have double D's that I'm trying to get rid of. Once again, even with them there, wearing the right sports bra, or using trans tape or KT tape or a binder, I use all kinds of different things, whatever I can do to hide it. There are days that I do go without those things, and I just put on like a bra and I walk out the house because it's comfortable, and I'm tired of having to compress myself. So I give my tatas a chance to breathe, or shall I say my chesticles, because I don't like tatas either. I give my chesticles a chance to breathe. I got that from a girlfriend. Most victims were black or migrant trans women. Once again, like I said, trans women and trans women of color. Not saying that white people or Asians or any other nationality aren't being, having violent things happen against them, but most of them are people of color and sex workers. It says 9 in 10, which is 96% of those murdered globally were trans women or trans feminine people, meaning either transgender woman, male to female, or non-binary, where they relate more feminine wise, which is really sad. Over half, 58% of those murdered were sex workers. 4 in 10 were European migrants. So, and that's 43%, it says. These numbers are alarming in general. Like, if we were talking about anything else, these numbers are still too high, no matter how you look at it. Like, I mean, we've seen the Black Lives Matter movements, and we know that these are an alarming rate that cops are killing black people. So it is the same thing with transgender people and transgender women of color, transgender in general. This is so sad, so ridiculous. Also, if further down, talks about so many different things and how these numbers rise, because in 2019, 331 people died. Then in 2020, 350 died. And 2021, 375 died. The number continues to climb, and it's just going to climb as long as people are unwilling to be open to understand that these people are just looking to live their life. They are not trying to do anything to anyone but live their life. It is sad that these numbers are just rising. On top of that, in the UK, it says transphobic hate crime reports have quadrupled over the last 6 years. So over the last 6 years, they quadrupled times 4, okay? That is ridiculous. Like, what in the world? Like, I don't understand what the issue is, why people have such an issue. I want to say that I've never been violent towards any type of people. If I've ever been violent towards someone, that one person, whether white, black, whatever nationality, I've been violent towards them because they were violent towards a child. Because I personally don't fight. I don't like to get angry in that kind of sense, to want to beat up somebody just because we have differences. If you're going to abuse your kid, I have a problem with it. And kids can't exactly fight adults. So I don't mind being that median and standing up for that child. I've only done it twice, but that person knows why I've done it. And yes, I still know that person. And I wasn't violent in the case that it would cause death or anything like that. I was violent in the way to stop them from being violent towards the child. I don't know what else to say other than we got to do better. We've got to stick together as a community of people. It's not just transgender people that are violent, get violence towards them. It's just that is what I want to talk about. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, all types of people are harassed. I see women and men that are bisexual harassed on a regular basis because people say that if men are bisexual, that means they're just closeted gays. That does not necessarily mean that. They could literally like both a penis and a vagina. And if women can like both, why can't a man like both? I'm confused. And why is it that when women are bisexual, it is so highly accepted? Because men have this fantasy of two women, and they don't like the idea that a man could like a man. But I don't feel like it makes anyone less of a man or less of a woman or less of anything. Like I said, we need to be more open socially on all fronts, y'all. We got to stop pointing our fingers at people and give people a chance to live their lives. And for these people who are killing these sex workers, you're going to a sex worker and then you get what you want and you kill them. And a lot of times that's exactly what's happening. They get y'all know what they do in these cars, these back alleys and hotel rooms and stuff like that. And I understand why people do that as a job, because it's money and it's how you make money. Just like I understand drug dealers. Some people have a hard time trying to find a steady job, or they need certain hours and it just does not work for them. So they make up their own thing. And not only that, a lot of people cope by using certain types of drugs and stuff like that. Now, although I don't condone using drugs to cope, but it happens. Open up your minds, y'all. Open up your eyes. If you see someone being indifferent to someone, please stand up, say something. You might save someone's life that day, because those are the ones that have been murdered. We're not even talking about the ones that have created suicide, who have decided to kill themselves. Those statistics I didn't even look up, because the truth is, no matter what you look at, it is an alarming rate of people dying that don't have to die, all because of indifference here or there. That's my time. I gotta go because I don't want to talk about this anymore.